Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is November finished pages. I'm sure I say this every single month, but seriously, where has November gone? Now it doesn't look like a massive pile because I've done quite a few PDFs this month, and this month I finished that ginormous diamond painting by Diamond Art Club, the Drogon one from Game of Thrones. So I will add that in at the end just so you can have a little look. But if you did watch my last video of my room tour, you would have seen it, and that took me almost a month of working on it solidly. So I started it in the middle of October, I think, and then ended up finishing it around the middle of November, give or take a few days. Just realising how dark it is. Oh, I don't like that colour light. It's dead dreary today. Anyway, so I'll go through it actually this way. No, I won't. I'll go through I'll go through this way. So we'll start off with Hannah Carlson, and I did this double page spread, and I tried to keep it really muted tones for this one, and it's the majority watercolour and the Derwent light fast pencils for this, and then the Sakura Jelly Roll glaze. It's this one that I've nearly run out of, but I have got backups. Sakura Jelly Roll glaze, and this stuff, it's sort of like, can you see it's shiny, so it's like perfect for windows and them sort of details. It was just a really fun one, this one. And then I used, I think it was the Sminker watercolour paint, the really super granulating watercolour paint, and it didn't turn out as good on this as it did on another page that I did this month. Actually, I'll put that one next so you can see the difference. So yeah, this is my side here, and you can see how well it worked on this side, and it gave a really cool effect. But in the Hannah Carlson book, for some reason, it didn't work as well. So that's my first one. So you've already seen this one now. But me and Kirsty from Kirsty Colouring Sketch did do a video together. Now I coloured one side of the page, and then she coloured another, and then she came round, and then we switched the pages, and then finished each of our pages off. If I can, I will add a picture here of I think my side was a purple tone, I'm sure it was, but they both turned out really nice. It was really interesting as well. Now on the first one that I didn't use alcohol markers, I don't believe, but the second one I did because I got inspiration because she used alcohol markers. So this is my side and this is Kirsty's side, and she's gone for loads of glitter embellishments. I've gone for Winsor & Newton ink and loads of watercolour, as she used pastel as well for the background there. It was a really fun challenge. If you've got a friend that's local that colours as well, I thoroughly recommend doing this, and we will do it again. We will do it again. So that image is by Mystic Art Mirrors as well. It was a 3-set PDF from last year, I want to say last year, but it's still up on her Etsy store. So thank you again, Kirsty, for doing that body colour, and that was a proper body colour, wasn't it? Half and half. So this one was an early one in the month, and it is from Colouring Heaven's Fledgling Furry Special, and it's all Christine Karen. You've got to love Christine Karen, haven't you? The illustrations in here are so cute. Anyway, I did this one, and I think I did share this on Instagram the night that I finished it. I'm sure that I did, so I'll tag out. And I know that I've shared that one as well. But isn't she adorable? I really enjoyed doing this. And as long as I was careful with how much water I used, the paper wasn't too bad. I mean, you can't get a nice watercolour effect. I swear I've not done this on purpose, but you can't get a nice watercolour effect like that because it's not watercolour paper. It is on the thinner side, but if you're careful, you can get away with it. And I just love the shading that I've done to her face, the colours that I chose. I'm sure most of this, yeah, look, it's alcohol marker based. Oh, I did a video, didn't I? My voice is going. I did a video, I'm sure I did, showing you how I colour over markers with this one. I'm not sure if I did the background, so I will link that here so you can pop over to that video if you want to have a little look. But she's cute, isn't she? Really enjoyed this one, so I'm going to keep this book out for me potentially. I've done that one. Potentially working on. I do prefer more of the grayscale over the line art of Christine Karen's pages. That one's really cute. That one's really autumn. There was one with two girls, was it that one? I'm sure there's another one. Yeah, that one that I really like. That one that I really like. That one's adorable as well. There's just some really cute ones in this issue. So I recommend purchasing that if you can still pick it up on the Colouring Heaven website. This is one of my own watercolour. Now, I was just testing, I forgot what they're called, so I'll have to colour mine. The Magic Colour, I think they're, yeah, a liquid acrylic colour. And it was just a couple of colours that I was testing on watercolour paper. And this is the result that I got. A couple of splatters of white as well, just to create some stars. When I'm not in the mood to colour or diamond paint and I've got a bit of free time, I tend to just paint galaxies. If you did see that room tour video, you saw how many galaxies I've actually painted. Really enjoy doing them. I think they're really relaxing and I like the outcome. So this is a little bit of a boo-boo. So this one is by Colouring Chicks, and I love how the leather jacket came out. I didn't like the dragons and I hated the background. I used that liquid acrylic again. I hated the background. And then to make it even worse, my alcohol marker pen completely ran out, and it was patchy and horrible, so I just printed it out again. But I printed it on the Strathmore grey toned paper. It's not the mixed media, it's just the normal one. You can see that I've alcohol marked the dragons with this one. I do prefer the colour of the jacket on there, but I don't think it would have gone as well with the purples, greys and blacks. But again, I really enjoyed this one. If I remember rightly, it's light fast pencils. Again, I think they've just quickly become my all-time favourite colour pencil, and I know that there's a whopping big price tag on them, but they're just really beautiful to use. And then the colours that you can see in the watercolour background are from the Renaissance Countdown to Christmas palette from last year. So they are being well used, these ones, well used. So that's what they are, and I think I mentioned it's Colouring Chicks, but I was quite impressed actually how I managed to do like the scar on her face. I was trying my best to make it as realistic as possible. I know that there's dragons in the picture and, you know, she's got really big beautiful eyes and it's not really realistic, but I did try my best with that scar and I really enjoyed that. And I think it was partly because of the illustration, and I really like the Strathmore paper. It's just really nice to work on. Really nice. So yeah, one boo-boo, but I managed to replace it and fix it. So there's the difference. But to be fair as well, I spent like 2-3 hours on that first one before I decided that I wanted to reprint it. We've got a watercolour picture now. I know that I did film some of this. Or did I film all of it? I might have filmed all of it. I can't remember. I'd like to say I've slept since. Yeah, but I got a new printer off my son, and I will link it in the description down below. I keep forgetting, but it's a HP one. So I'll link it in the description just in case you're interested, because it does take really thick paper. Now I'm sure this paper is 200 GSM. I know I keep reaching over, but all my stuff's right at the side of there. And this is the paper that I've been using as well as the Archer's one. Oh no, it's 300 GSM. So what I do is I put the paper in the printer, and then when I hear that it's trying to grab hold of the paper to pull it down, I slightly help it a little bit, otherwise it doesn't manage to grip hold of it. But other than that, once it gets going, it's absolutely fine. And I really enjoy doing this, and I'm just chuffed to bits now that I can print on really nice paper and use my really nice watercolours and create effects like this, because before I wasn't able to. So I think straight after the Christine Karen one, I did another Christine Karen one, printed it out on, this one is the Archer's, is it smooth? It's the smooth one, I think it's the pink one. I printed it out, and I do prefer, now that I've been messing around with different pencils with the paper, different paints, I prefer this more smooth one. I prefer the more grainy one for the galaxies, but when I'm doing an actual colouring illustration, I do prefer the smooth, because the pencils just glide over that paper beautifully. And that you can see, look at that's all that sminker, the super granulating, because it's on proper watercolour paper. you can see what it's actually meant to do. And it's just, I can't tell you how much that I'm grateful for my son for buying me that printer. I'm over the moon with it, over the moon, because these pages, even though they probably suit me 2-3 hours, they're a bit quicker because of the watercolour. It didn't feel like that. It just went by in a zoom because I enjoy it so much. And I tried to do a light effect with watercolour. Now I do need to practice with that. I know how to do it with pencils, but not so much with watercolour, so that's another thing I need to practice on. And I'm just noticing now that I've used a bit of acrylic paint as well. Can you see this here to add like highlights and stuff? Oh, well done me. Well done me. Yeah, really like that one. It's perfect for this time of the year as well. This one I do need to still trim off the bottom and trim off here because I scanned the picture in using the app on my phone, because I could not for the life of me get the scanner to work on the actual printer, so I used the app and then it didn't fill the whole of the page, so I just need to trim off this. But this is from, I think it's the Princess one, Hannah Lynn. So it scanned pretty well, you know. I managed to transfer it onto Strathmore toned tan mixed media paper, this one, so it is super duper thick. Mostly watercolour and a tiny bit of Brute Funa pencils. Really like them as well. Now I will probably lean towards my more cheaper lower end pencils if I'm using a really textured paper, because it does eat away at your pencils quite a lot. But they work beautifully. If you can hear pipe banging, it's the pipes from my washing machine. We need to get the plumb right. But I added some stickles. Come on, catch the light. There you can just about see, I think, and on the hood as well. And then stickles as the snow coming down as well. Thoroughly enjoyed doing this. Anything that I can chuck watercolour on now with a bit of pencil over the top, I am all for. And that brings me on to Mace Guards. Now you've seen quite a few videos this month, and no doubt you're going to see a few more because I've already prepped the next page with the Daniel Smith watercolour grind. Not sure whether I'm going to use watercolour or alcohol markers. That was the big one this month. I worked out that you can use alcohol markers in your colouring boots and it doesn't bleed through. The link for that video is here. I'm just overjoyed. Overjoyed that I found that out. It was just by chance, and I think, was it me being a bit silly doing it in this book for the first time? Probably. But if you don't know, you don't try, do you? If you don't try, you don't know. I did this one. I didn't actually gesso any of this, but this was all with watercolour. Look at the glittery mushrooms. I've gone for a complete opposite of, you know, trying to be realistic. I thought, why do I have to make the mice either brown or grey or black or white? So I just went all out with this one. And look at the background as well, like a really like moody sky almost. I love it. I absolutely love how this turned out, and it was so easy to accomplish. And then the watercolours that you can see in the background again is from that same Advent calendar palette from Renaissance, but I don't think she does that one anymore. I think she's brought a new one out for this year, which I will not be purchasing, but I can recommend them paints. They are really lovely to work with. That was last month, wasn't it? I'm gonna have to have a drink of my coffee. That's a whoopsie that I did when I first got this book, so I need to go over that. So this is the other one. Let's have a little drink. I made myself a nice cappuccino before I started. And I forgot to put a sugar in it. So this is the page that made me find out that alcohol markers do not bleed through, because I gessoed it all with the Daniel Smith watercolour grind, and the one that I use is the white. Now I have been reading the comments. I do read your comments, I just don't always comment back, or when I do, I'll comment back for days and then I'll go missing for a couple of weeks, because that's just what I'm like and the way that my life is. Anyway, so I have read your comments, and you can get a transparent one, so I am going to try the other colours. After Christmas I will order the transparent one, and then I think there's a darker white one maybe, so I do want to try them just to let you guys know what I think. But yeah, they don't bleed through. That's all alcohol marker there. Nothing on this side. I promise you it works. I promise you. I did do a video explaining the whole process, and I just want everybody to know and everybody to try it out, because it is brilliant. If you like using the alcohol markers to base work, take away the white of that paper, it's perfect. Most of this is watercolour. I think I left the little mouse guy till last to do, and that's what made me pull out the alcohol markers. Brute Funas again for the shading, I do believe, and then just some white acrylic paint pen for the bubbles. Nothing spectacular, but I really enjoyed doing it. Really enjoyed doing it, this one. Another BB page that I'll have to fix. Yeah, so this is the other one that I did, and this is where I showed you how to do the alcohol marker hack, as you will. There is another page that I've prepped in here. I can't remember, I've not tagged it, but there is another one, so you'll see it upcoming in December. But I filmed this, I do believe, from start to finish as a time lapse, and you can see the watercolour again at the top, just giving it a little bit of a sparkle. I love this hack. I love this hack. It works beautiful on watercolour. You know, just try it. Just try it. That's all I'm going to say. I think I'll leave the tags in, because if I've got time, I'll try and pop them on Instagram. But I know that I've prepped another page in here, and there's another page in a different boot that I'll show you in a second, that you'll see in an upcoming video, because I had plans at the start of the month and I just did not get around to it. So it's not them ones. Oh, I love that one as well. How cute's that? Proper cute. Another one I need to fix. I know that I have prepped a page and I'm just skimming past it clearly, but that was Mace Guard. Now, I have seen copies on eBay of Mace Guard, but you have to be quick. You have to be quick, because it's out of print now, I do believe. I wish they would bring it back. It's such a bonny book. Now, I can't pronounce, and I cannot remember for the life of me what the name of this book is, but I bought it off Etsy. I will try and link it in the description down below, in case you want to find it. Now, this was a bit of a tester page, this one here. I used, it wasn't a watercolour ground on this one, it was just a plain old gesso, and it worked. You know, I didn't get as nice effects as the Daniel Smith one, but this was like half the price. Just reading my tag here. To colour flowers with watercolour pencils. Oh, it was the butterfly one that I wanted to do a tutorial on, and I never got around to doing it. Anyway, this one, I was trying to do a one colour challenge, so just picking one colour out of my different watercolour palettes, different pencils, and seeing if I could pull it off, and I think I did. Now, the page that I have, it's this one. I've already gessoed this, or Daniel Smith watercolour ground, I can't remember this page, so I'm going to pick another colour to do another challenge with that one, because this was so fun. And it's not just watercolour and pencils. I'm just looking at it now, remembering it's actually acrylic paint. There's loads of acrylic paint all over this, from here to here, here. There's loads of it everywhere. I really enjoyed doing that, because it sort of took the guessing game out of picking the colours. So if you just go, I don't know, let's pick the squirrel. Squirrel, you'd use to pick oranges, wouldn't you, for the whole page? What about a pink squirrel? Everything pink on the page with a bit of pink in the background. It doesn't have to be the colour of the animal like I tend to do. The colour of the animal, I'm trying to change that up a little bit to make myself come out my comfort zone. You know, it doesn't have to be, there was a cat there then. That could be a rainbow cat. It doesn't have to be a normal colour cat, you know. So that's all my actual adult colouring pages and watercolour paintings. I will just pan over to my my Drogon picture now. So this is the big Drogon that I was talking about. I've got a new edition. I bought Daenerys. It's from Display. My son was ordering from there and he had a really cheap deal on, so I tagged it onto the order and I was fine with that. But yeah, this is the Drogon. It's absolutely huge, and I'm so impressed that I managed to get it done in the time that I did, and I just love it, absolutely adore it. Now, I didn't buy a frame for this because it would have been too expensive. I just painted it with acrylic paint, but for your reference, I purchased these off Amazon. They're for sticking pictures up basically, the Amazon cheap version, and I will link them in the description down below. And I think there's 8 of these holding it up, and I've not had an issue. There's other things as well in this room that's held up by them. That is Evie and Rollo, and a painted frame down there, and the big diamond painting in my son's room, which is framed, is hung up with them as well. So if you don't want to put nails in your wall, then buy these. They're ideal. So on to future me. And at the moment I am working on Apples by Diamond Art Club by Christopher Lovell. I'm probably about a quarter of the way through that. I'm just taking my time with that one, not rushing it like I did the Drogon one when I've not been feeling too good and I don't want to sit up here at night time. I've just been sitting at the couch just doing that. But thank you so much for watching. I know it's not as many as usual, but you know, life happens sometimes, and then I've had a week of my daughter being sick, and then me getting sick, and then I won't even talk about my birthday. But thank you so much for all the birthday messages. And I've got one special friend, well, a couple of special friends, but one in particular that did send me something really, really nice for my birthday. So yeah, thank you. But I think, let's pick a favourite. I think it's going to have to either be this one from Mace Guards. Oh, I've got 3 now. I've just thought of the other one. So it's either this one from Mace Guards, I just love it, or this one. I'm sorry, Kirsty, but I'm picking my own stuff. I'm picking my own stuff. Where am I going to be able to find it now? Or this one. Or where is it? Which one do I like better? Probably this one. So it's a pick for me. I think I love the Mace Guard. But because I just did the background, so not to toot my own horn, I just love that background. It just looks like dead. What's the right word? Like moody and gloomy, that sort of thing, I think, anyway. But which one's your favourite? I'd love to know in the comments down below. Until my next video, which hopefully won't be too long. Hopefully I start feeling a bit better, and then I'll be able to be regularly filming again. So until my next video, take care. Bye.